second hand to New Year's resolutions, and there's just no question what this man should do. Take all the time lost, all the days that I cost, take what I took and give it back to you. All this time we were waiting for each other. All this time I was waiting for you. We got all these words, can't waste them on another. So I'm straight in a straight line, running back to you. I don't know what day it is, I had to check the paper. And I don't know the city, but it isn't home. Well, you say I'm lucky to love something that loves me, but I'm torn as I could be wherever I roam. And you say all this time we were waiting for each other. All this time I was waiting for you. We got all these words, can't waste them on another. So I'm straight in a straight line, running back to you. Yeah, oh, running back to you. Oh, running back to you. Yeah. Oh, and we travel so far, and I travel so far to get back where you are. All this time we were waiting for each other. All this time I was waiting for you.
Okay, love you.
How's it going, man?
Good, good. Thanks, buddy.
Like a river blossom surely to the sea, oh my darling. So it
You're the man.
goes. Some things are meant to be. So won't you please just take my hand and take
Oh, mercy.
All right.
Mercy, mercy, mercy. Go ahead. Go ahead. I only wish the best for you guys.
This is a good photo op.
So let me ask, who
Dad.
who gives this woman to be married to this man?
Her mother and I. I said it.
You did.
You got through it, bud.
So proud of you.
Well done. Well done. Can you guys hear me? Sound good? Okay. Now I know last time I did this, it took me a while to ask everyone to sit down. So I'm aware of that. But before I ask you to sit down, it's a great day. It's a great day. God, Court, now you got me going. On behalf of the bride and groom, we'd like to welcome everyone and thank everyone for coming. We know for many people here, it's a big effort. Big effort not only in terms of time, money, but a distance. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to get an idea of kind of like where everyone's from. Now, try to put this to memory because it's going to give you something to talk about at the reception. So if you're from Utah, you may be seated. Okay. That's all right, Roy. If you're from California, you may be seated. Well, that really thins it out, doesn't it? Okay. If you are from, let's say, I got this. If you're from Colorado, you may be seated. If you are from Arizona, you may be seated. If you are from the PNW, and to those that don't know what that means, Pacific Northwest, it's a Seattle thing. You may be seated. So, and I forgot your name. So Troy, I know, came from Chicago. He's also wrapping up his MBA in finance. So if anyone here is looking for a CFO, he's your guy.
Yeah.
Now, Troy is from Chicago, so you can be seated. This is the fix is in on this, because the whole idea is to find the person that came the farthest. And I happen to know the person that came the farthest because it happens to be one of my very best friends, because a lot of people aren't aware that Sparky flew from Washington, D.C., landed in Vegas. So Spark, why don't you come up here?
Wait, what? You flew from Washington?
I did.
I didn't know that.
So you win the award for traveling the farthest.
Thank you very
Good
much.
job. You can buy me a drink later.
I'll buy everybody.
So when you sit down to write a wedding ceremony, it's not uncommon to ask the bride and groom when they started dating. I know it's cliche-ish and it's actually lazy, but it's a valid question, and at a minimum, it's a good place to start. As it turns out, and lucky for me, Jason and Lindsey started dating in January of 2009, which actually turns out it was a remarkable month. In a game that to this day many consider to be the biggest upset in college football history, Utah beats Alabama in the 75th Sugar Bowl. Whipped them, actually, 31-17. Shortly after takeoff from LaGuardia Airport in New York City, U.S. Airways flight 1549 loses power in both engines. 155 souls on board. Captain Sully Sullenberger has to ditch, or as he put it, land, his Airbus A320 on the Hudson River in Midtown Manhattan. Everyone survives. Barack Obama is inaugurated as the 44th President of the United States, America's first African-American president. Lady Antebellum released the hit, "I Run to You." with lyrics that say,
Overrated.
our love's the only truth. That's why I run to you. That song ultimately wins 2009 Billboard Record of the Year. January 2009 was a remarkable month. While this is a civil ceremony, I'm not ashamed to confess my faith in God and my belief in Jesus Christ. I believe in supreme acts of God. I believe God gave us the parents He gave us, and by and large gives us the children we deserve. I believe God created each and every one of us, and therefore is desperately interested in our journey. And because I believe matrimony should be a holy occasion and part of God's ultimate plan for our lives, I believe God takes an active role in directing our journey. But I also believe God allows us to have free will. Or in layman's terms, we're free to screw it up. That's why I'm captivated by the journey people take, and that's why I'm captivated by the journey you two have taken. And in that context, Jason, Lindsey, I want you to know I think of you often, more than you can imagine. I think that when you get to be a certain age, you think about your kids a lot, you think about their friends, nieces, nephews, early childhood, youth soccer, tooth fairy, first Christmas, things like that. You think about high school, academic achievement, and when they graduate, you're amazed at how quickly the first 18 years went by. And then they go to college. And what seems like a month to a parent, your baby has a bachelor's degree. This is all part of your life when your parents played an active role in directing your path, where they could intervene on your behalf, but behind closed doors they had endless conversations about finding that balance between guiding you and at the same time allowing you enough freedom to fall, pick yourself up, go forward with more confidence, hopefully more wisdom than you had before. The fact is both God and your parents ultimately must yield to your free will. Both acknowledge your freedom, both acknowledge the fact that you have the opportunity to screw it up. But Jason, Lindsey, you didn't screw it up. You chose to ultimately embrace the master plan. I think it's God's master plan for your life. You see, when it comes to finding the one, that special person created just for you, I believe it's a sovereign act. And I believe there is no such thing as coincidence. If you don't believe that, just ask yourself the question, what are the odds? I mean, really, what are the odds that a girl born and raised in the San Gabriel Valley, whose parents were essentially run out of Denver, Colorado. That's true. That's what I was told. Would meet a guy whose ancestors immigrated to the United States from Romania and I think Yugoslavia, ended up in Detroit, Michigan, and would later move to Southern California. What are the odds these young lovers, typical Southern California kids, would get married and move away to Huntington Beach, and then to Irvine to start a family, and then El Toro, where Lindsey was born, Chino Hills, El Segundo, and finally Salt Lake City, where they would ultimately settle down, raise their young family, and make a life for themselves. Very nice life for themselves. What are the odds a young boy in Abilene, Texas, 7, maybe 8 years old, would pick up the phone, operator, how may I help you? I need to talk to my grandma. Honey, what's your grandma's name? Emmy? Honey, do you know your grandma's last name? Grandma Emmy. Grandma Emmy Odell. Honey, do you know your grandpa's name? It's Grandpa Paul. Grandpa Paul Odell. Honey, do you know where your grandma and grandpa live? Somewhere in Texas, I think. After a couple of minutes, there's someone else on the line. Odell residence. Is this Emmy Odell? It is. Miss Odell, I have a young man on the phone who desperately needs to speak with his grandma. What are the odds that operator would search the entire state of Texas and find Grandma Emmy Odell? Even more remarkable, what are the odds that phone call would result in that boy, who's now 10, moving in to live with the father he never knew, who at the time was stationed at Tooele Army Depot in Utah. Having a father who's LDS and a mother that's Seventh-day Adventist, what are the odds their son would fellowship at a Pentecostal church where at the age of 19 he would meet and ultimately marry the love of his life? What are the odds his bride's father, who is also from Texas, would meet his bride while stationed at that same Tooele Army Depot in Utah? I ask you, what are the odds? Lindsey, Jason, you have extraordinary parents. They've done a great job. Having said that, you need to understand, accept, and embrace the fact that you've been a blessing to your parents. You guys getting hot? Yeah? It's going okay?
I love it. You're doing so good.
The love you have for each other is the same love your parents have for one another. It's the same love that brought about the two of you being here today. Trust me when I tell you, the love you have for each other in many ways is inferior to the love your parents have had for you from the moment you were born. Any parent will tell you the love they have for their children is different. It's even more overwhelming than the love they have for their spouse. I think subconsciously, this is why parents want their children to have children of their own. So they too can one day come to understand the kind of love that ultimately has brought about the two of you being here today. Pay attention.
Sorry. Sorry.
That's all right. By the way, you're smoking.
Thanks.
Don't deny yourselves the blessing that you have been to your parents. That's all I'm going to say about that. Okay?
Okay. You're the best.
Thank you. In the book of 1 Corinthians, the Apostle Paul describes this notion of love when he says, you okay?
It's a veil situation.
Though I can speak in any language known to man, if I've never known love, I'm as useless as a noisemaker. Even if I can see the future and understand all things and have enough faith to move mountains, if I've never been in love, I am nothing. Even if I give everything I have to the poor and sacrifice my life in the hope it'll help others, if I've never loved another, my charity, my sacrifice has been in vain. Love is patient and kind. Love is not envious. Love is not proud. Love is gracious and not easily provoked. Love does not assume evil intentions. Love rejects iniquity and celebrates the truth. When we are in love, we can endure all things with our partner because love never fails. When we were children, we spoke as children. We understood as children. We thought as children. But when we grow up, we put away childish things and understand what truly matters. We recognize when it's all said and done, the only true possessions we have in this life are faith, hope, and love. Faith in our partners, hope for our future and the future of our posterity, and love to sustain us. Paul goes on to tell us the greatest of these things is love. At this time, we're going to have, because I need a break, we're going to have Jason and Lindsey read their vows to each other. We haven't really practiced this. Girls go first, but Lindsey, you have to hold this really close. I'll hold it for you.
Okay.
God,
I don't do well in front of people, so I don't want to hold it.
you're fine.
Jason Paul,
Great, I got your name out.
I've loved you since the first time I saw you, and being up here today is simply to show the rest of the world what's been in my heart for 10 years. I can't possibly describe how much I love you, but I'll tell you why I love you. I love the way you see the world and all its possibilities. I love your heart and how kind and honest you are.
Take a pause. I gotta move the mic.
Okay, because I can't see.
That's fine. You're doing great. You're doing great.
I love your strength and determination to succeed in every single thing that you do. And I love how you cherish our relationship and always push us to grow together. I'll spend the rest of my life trying to see the world through your eyes, appreciating everything, especially you. I love everything about you, JP, and I can't imagine spending my life without you. I'm getting snotty.
So am I. Okay, then I'll use it.
So I promise to love you.
hold on.
Oh, we're going.
That's okay.
We're going.
So I promise to love you, even when you drive me crazy, and to respect you when we disagree, and to support you if bad times come our way, and to always remember how grateful I am to have you by my side. I look into your eyes, and my love for you only grows, and I know without a doubt in my mind that I'll love you always, forever.
That's sweet. Do you want to hold it? Well done.
Thanks.
Nice job.
He hand wrote this, so they're better.
Closer.
No, oh.
No, the mic. That's later,
Lindsey.
Jason. That's later.
Our relationship is built on the foundation of love. Love is the one thing that solves all things. There will be many internal and external challenges we will face in our journey together here on earth.
Whew.
And as long as we operate from the perspective of love, we will conquer them all. Love takes discipline, hard work, and must be continually explored and never taken for granted. The most beautiful thing about love is the more we share, the more we will receive. Our commitment to each other represents growth through sacrifice as we continually let go of our selfish desires in order to strengthen our relationship. This concept of synergy does not just apply to us as we come together. We are strengthened through our friendships, family, and the world around us. In closing, I will strive to see the world through your eyes and appreciate all the things that you do and create. When the hard times hit, I'll be there for you, however you need me. I will always be by your side and do my best to bring you joy and excitement into your life. Most importantly, I will always share my love with you.
Well done. Jason and Lindsey, before we get to our vows, I offer you, no, I got vows for you too. Those are your vows. Maybe we should have done some more rehearsing.
Hey, wing it.
I offer you 2 pieces of advice learned from years of experience. The first is from this day forward, in all things that you do, ask yourself, what am I doing to protect us? Your marriage is now your fortress, and it will be attacked. From this day forward, your answer to this question is really the only thing that matters. The second piece of advice I have is always be nice and treat your spouse with grace. Years from now, when you reflect on your life together, you will forget what your spouse has said. You will forget what your spouse has done. But you will never forget how y'all made each other feel. It's important. Now, Jason, I have a question to ask you. Are you as sure today as you were when you asked Lindsey to marry you?
100%.
That's a good answer.
I like that. Do I have to say something?
Lindsey, let me ask you. Are you as sure today as you were when you said yes?
Abso-freaking-lutely.
Okay, I think that they're ready to wrap
Yes.
this up. So before we take our final vows, let us accept. We'll get to it. I got this.
Sorry.
I got this, okay? Let us accept the fact that we'll get sick, sickness and in health. Let us accept that there will be financial challenges, richer, poor. Let us accept that there will be good times and bad. And let us recognize that this is all about a lifelong commitment. Some would say, till death do us part. However, I understand there are some here who may be more comfortable with, I seal you for time and all eternity. I really like that copy, by the way. Which clearly I have neither the authority or standing to use. So in the words of my favorite high school slow dance song, I'll just say, always and forever. Then Jason, let me ask you, do you take Lindsey to be your princess? Do you take Lindsey to be your prize? Do you take Lindsey to be your treasure? And do you take Lindsey to be your wife?
I do.
Lindsey, let me ask you. Do you take Jason to be your prince? Do you take Jason to be your prize? Do you take Jason to be your husband? And do you take Jason to be your husband?
I do.
Rings, please. Jason, we're getting close. Put Lindsey's ring on her finger and repeat after me. Lindsey,
Lindsey,
I give this ring as my gift to you.
I give this ring as my gift to you.
Wear it as a public display
Wear it as a public display
of our commitment to each other.
of our commitment to each other.
When you look at this ring,
When you look at this ring,
think of me and know I love you.
think of me and know I love you.
Lindsey? It's a better fit.
Shut up.
I know. Lindsey, repeat after me. Jason, I give this ring as my gift to you.
Jason, I give this ring as my gift to you.
Wear it as a public display
Wear it as a public display
of our commitment to each other.
as our commitment to each other.
When you look at this ring,
When you look at this ring,
think of me and know I love you.
think of me and know that I love you.
All right then. By the authority vested in me by Jason and Lindsey, I now pronounce you husband and wife. Kiss your bride. I am very pleased to be the first to introduce you to Jason and Lindsey Gillespie. Practice.
All the things you are to me, darling, you have set me free. I'll always give you what you need and what you deserve. All the joy and all this love, I know that it is from above. And now together there's enough.
Waiting to unfold, for richer or for poorer, you've got my hand to hold. You were born to be the one, make sense of all my wrongs, through all the twists and turns where we belong. Oh, and there's no end to where we'll go. Right here's the start. You're the reason all my pieces found their missing part. Oh, picture of 65 years in one little house. More than a memory, more than saying I do. Kiss you good nights and I love yous. Me and you, baby, we'll walk in the footsteps, build our own family, one day at a time. 10 little toes, a painted pink room. Our beautiful baby looks just like you, and we'll build this love from the ground up. Now till forever, it's all of me, all of you. Just take my hand, and I'll be the man your dad hoped that I'd be, and we'll build this love from the ground up, for worse or for better. And I will be all you need. Beside you I'll stand, through the good and the bad. We'll give all that we have, and we'll build this love from the ground up. This life will go by in the blink of an eye, but I wouldn't want to spend it without you by my side. The clouds are gonna roll, the earth's gonna shake, but I'll be a shelter through the wind and the rain, and we'll build this love from the ground up. Now till forever, it's all of me, all of you. Just take my hand, and I'll be the man your dad hoped that I'd be, and we'll build this love from the ground up, for worse or for better. And I will be all you need. Beside you I'll stand, through the good and the bad. We'll give all that we have, and we'll build this love from the ground up. Someday we'll wake up with thousands of pictures of 65 years in this little house. I won't trade for nothing the life that we built. I'll kiss you goodnight and say I love you still, and we'll build this love from the ground up, for worse or for better. And I will be all you need. Beside you I'll stand, through the good and the bad. We'll give all that we have, and we'll build this love.
So I just wanted to thank all of you guys for coming out here and sharing this very special moment for us. Hey Vince, I'm up here talking. I'm going to need you to pay attention, young man. But I know a lot of you guys really went out of the way to make sure you guys were here, and it means so much to us to come out here and celebrate this and spend time with us, and we're so grateful for each and every one of you. And my cheers that I want to make today is just to love, man. So cheers to love.
Ladies and gentlemen, we would like to thank everyone for being here on Lindsey and Jason's special day.
Before we continue, yes, there are two of us. For those of you who are feeling alcohol, it hasn't kicked in yet. You're not seeing double. We're here together. You can thank Lindsey for that one. She spoke at our wedding. She's making us do it now.
For those of you who don't know us, my name is Kelly.
And I am Casey. And I am not used to speaking in public. I hate every second of it, hence the wine.
Therefore, we are also feeling the effects of alcohol right now. Sorry, I'm going to lose my voice. When I first met Lindsey, we were just girls, 14 to be exact, and I knew as soon as I met this long-legged, strawberry blonde, loud, bubbly girl that she was someone special. Oh. She is funny, kind, generous, and fiercely protective of the ones that she loves. Over the years, we have laughed together, cried together, and made so many amazing memories.
And I met this beautiful bride when I was in high school. I was just 16 years old. She was already graduated, but I'm just super young with an old soul.
She just thinks she's super young, and she'll mention that every chance she gets. Like that one time Lindsay introduced herself as the bride at someone else's wedding.
Or that time until last year, she thought eggs were dairy. She couldn't go vegan. She couldn't give up eggs. They're not. They're not, if anyone was wondering. You know, growing up with Lindsay, there's been some questionable choices in our lives. Like the time Lindsay decided that brightly colored makeup was a thing, our fashion choices, our hair choices, our boy choices, all of the choices we made growing up. But luckily, Jason came along and put the kibosh on that, and everything's been good since.
I'm dying. We knew Jason was a keeper when he passed the 2-week mark. Lindsay has very high standards. We are so happy that Lindsay has met someone just as special and deserving of her as she is of him.
I actually have to quote this part. If we could all raise a toast, or our glasses for a toast, I'd like to quote Nathan Scott. Shook my coat away. All right, I'm going to say this to you. It's the oldest story in the world. One day you're 17, planning for someday, and oh God, no, here I come. I don't cry. And then quietly, without you ever really noticing, someday is today, and that someday is yesterday, and this is your life. What a beautiful day today has been, and a life you have built together. We just want to wish you the best of luck and cherish every single moment you have together on the rest of your journey. Cheers!
And I'm Jared, by the way. They call me Kellogg. But I've been friends with Jason since I was like a little kid. I've known him for 20 plus years and counting. And your friendship means a lot to me, and it's very appreciative. And it's kind of funny because I know Jason really well, and I have to bring up a story now, because I was there like when we first hung out with Lindsay, and so Jason was getting ready, getting dressed, and we were going to go out to Lindsay's house. And back in the day, Jason wore some really cool, like really pointy dressy shoes, and this is how I knew Lindsay was a total badass, because like when we first met Lindsay, like the whole night she was just calling him out on his shoes like the whole night. And I swear to God, after that night, Jason never wore those shoes again, ever. Like, and you know what? That's a testament to Jason and Lindsay, like, because Lindsay had that effect on him, and it was a real effect. And it's just been, I can speak for all of us when we can say we were not anxiously anticipating this day to happen. But you guys couldn't have picked a better moment. And, I got to just throw my love to your guys' way. I'm looking forward to seeing you guys grow and accomplish wonderful things together. You guys are strong, and I'll always be there for you guys, and I'm sure you guys will always be there for me, and I believe it 100%. So if we can all raise our glasses again, just get those glasses high in the air, and let's toast to these two beautiful people right here, and wish them a very happy longevity life and just peacefulness in each other. Awesome. Salute. All right.
For those of you who don't know me, I'm Whitney. I am Lindsay's little sister. Younger and better looking, thank you. You see, Lindsay and I fought a lot growing up. We didn't see eye to eye much growing up. We fought like sisters do. It wasn't uncommon that we'd be swinging the microphone at each other's faces during the Beauty and the Beast. Thank you. And hitting each other in the face, Lindsay just mentioned, so it was common. It wasn't uncommon for our lacrosse coach to put us against one another. Me scoring all the goals, Lindsay trying to defend my goals. And it wasn't very uncommon for us to steal each other's love interests. Well, I stole hers, and I'm forever grateful for it and in debt for her for that. That is how I met my husband. Sharing is caring. but some see that as a threat. But for those of you that know her best, know that she has the biggest heart. Not only to humans, but for animals as well. Every I'm sorry note slipped under the door during our bedroom doors during timeout. Every erasure song that we belted out in the front of the boat. And every storm we've endured on the lake. Slowly I realized that I not only had an amazing sister, but a best friend. Stop it. I met Jason 10 years ago. Had a backyard party at my parents' house. Surprise, we had parties at your house if you didn't know. I knew something was special from Jason from the very beginning. Not only did he pass the 2-week mark, but I still remember a time when Lindsey was literally talking on the phone to somebody, and I said, "Who are you talking to?" She said, "Jason." "Well, isn't he coming over to the house right now?" She said, "Yeah." I said, "That's weird. You can talk to him in 5 minutes." She said, "We really like to talk on the phone." And I knew something was very special from the beginning. He has so much integrity and ambition and passion. Ugh, I can't say enough good words about you. From his friends, his family, his work, and his hobbies, as short-lived as they are. You have a lot of determination and drive. You're an incredible man, and I hope you realize how lucky you are to have my sister. That's good. Many would say that you guys are crazy for waiting 10 years, but as our competitive nature goes in our family, the common phrase in the family, Jason would say, is, "I'm just trying to beat the family record." Well, you didn't beat it. 3 months short. But in all honesty, you guys are distracting me. But in all honesty, with parents like Deb and Larry, my parents, Courtney and Denise, we were proven that a real marriage could happen. We are lucky, so lucky to have somebody like these parents in our life that showed and proved that this really could happen. They told us that a real marriage was possible in our lifetimes. They told us, both couples I'm sure, told us it was never easy. You're gonna have to put the work in. It takes time to curate a raw and real relationship. It takes selflessness, putting your partners before your own needs. It takes compromise and passion. I have to read this part. Believe in true love. Believe in love at first sight. Believe that love conquers all. And that doesn't mean that there's not going to be hard days. And there's not going to be difficult things to deal with, because there will be. But finding the right person that does it for you and knows that the person loves you back, it makes everything so much easier. Haley James Scott, One Tree Hill. You're welcome. Yeah, that's good. Over the last 10 years of your guys' marriage, I hope you guys realize what a privilege you have had to live in 8, 9, 10 different cities now. I've lost count. I know you probably have. You guys have literally been boating on the Ozarks. You've enjoyed a beer in an underground bar in Romania. You guys have kissed giraffes in the desert temperatures of Texas. So jealous. You guys have hiked the mountainsides in Italy. You guys have won team competitions in Dominican Republic without throwing up, I hope. But you guys have built a homestay in Utah. But as the saying goes, it doesn't matter where you're going in life, but who you have beside you. Jason, I've already considered you a part of the family for 10 years now. Welcome. I can't say enough good words about my family. Immediate, extended. We are lucky to have you. Welcome to our crazy, beautiful, loving, amazing, I wouldn't change it for the world family. Welcome to our family, Jason. Thank you. To the bride and groom.
I promise not to mention anything about my penis turning into a vagina and crying all the time, but clearly estrogen has overtaken testosterone. And, you know, lady, I've turned into a young lady, I guess I like that. And girls, this isn't a dig on you. I think wearing emotions on your sleeve is a wonderful thing, and I wish we all did it a lot more. Gentlemen, for those of you that... Gentlemen, for those of you who haven't experienced this, it's awesome. It's awesome. You guys, each and every one of you in this room is important to us, to the bride and the groom. I want to thank you all for the love, gratitude, the journey that you made to be here today. Couldn't have done this without you. And you know what? We sit up here as dads, and tradition says we get to do a speech. Tradition says we get to do a first dance. But you know what? Couldn't do it without moms. There was a time in our life where Lindsay just wasn't into dating. We were a little concerned. High school years. Lindsay, what'd you do to piss everybody off? Nobody wants to hang out with you? Well, come to find out that Lindsay had incredible anxiety about being together with guys. And so we worked on that. We had it taken care of. And what does she bring home? So that, for those of you that remember Lindsay's dark phase, makeup, dark hair, you know, not quite goth, but, you know, hey. And then she says, I got this guy I'm bringing home. You got this guy you're bringing home. Cool, tell me about this guy. Well, I didn't have to tell him about it, or she didn't have to tell us, because he rolls up in his Subaru WRX, louder than shit in the neighborhood and pissing everybody off car, smelling like cigarettes, and I'm, who's this punk-ass bitch coming here to take out my daughter? What I didn't realize is that he was perfect for Lindsay. Lindsay became a totally different young lady. Jason morphed and came into his own as well. And truth be told, he's been a part of our family for a long, long time. Feel incredibly, incredibly fortunate, grateful to have Jason in our lives. You too, Zach. And I just want to take a moment, ask you all to lift your glass. May your worries be small. May your achievements be monumental. May your love grow. Do I have an echo over there? Hey, Derek, don't heckle the heckler with the microphone, all right? You don't. Apparently, you don't need a date either. Okay, back to us now that the interruption's gone away, all right? Where were we? Oh, that's right. A toast to the bride and the groom. May your love grow every day, infinitesimally. I love you both. Here's to the bride and the groom.
Look at the two of you dancing that way, lost in the moment and each other's face. So much in love, you're alone in this place, like there's nobody else in the world. I was enough for her not long ago. I was her number one, she told me so, and she still means the world to me, just so you know. So be careful when you hold my girl. Time changes everything and life must go on. I'm not gonna stand in your way. I loved her first, I held her first, and a place in my heart will always be hers. From the first breath she breathed, when she first smiled at me, I knew the love of a father runs deep. And I prayed that she'd find you someday, but it's still hard to give her away. I loved her first. How could that beautiful woman with you be the same freckle-faced kid that I knew? One that I read all those fairy tales to, and tucked into bed all those nights. And I knew the first time I saw you with her, it was only a matter of time. I loved her first, I held her first, and a place in my heart will always be hers. From the first breath she breathed, when she first smiled at me, I knew the love of a father runs deep. And I prayed that she'd find you someday, but it's still hard to give her away. I loved her first. From the first breath she breathed, when she first smiled at me, I knew the love of a father runs.
Of light mists, of pale amber rose, feels like I'm lost in the deep cloud of heavenly scent. Touch it, pure white stars, exotic sweetness, a magical time. Say it again, I love you, always, forever, near and far. We'll sit together everywhere. I will be with you, everything I will do for you. I love you, always, forever, near and far. We'll sit together everywhere. I will be with you, everything I will do for you. Say you love me forever, never stop, never, whatever, near and far, and always, and everywhere, and every. Say you love me. Every day on my mind, and I just can't get you out. I just want you, all of you, all to myself. Yeah, never wanna let this go, boy. We got something real. Might be selfish, but I just don't care. I swear. I just want you right here, always by my side. You and me together, baby, it's paradise. We can go wherever, ever, leave them all behind. I'm giving you all my, keep giving you all my love. Keep giving you all my, keep giving you all my love. Keep giving you all my, hey, keep giving you all my love. Nothing's ever been so easy, I can't help but say. You got me in my feels, got me feeling some type of way. Hey, take away, take away, take away, yeah, you can take everything. As long as you are with me, it'll be okay. Hey, yeah. I just want you right here, always by my side. You and me together, baby, it's paradise. We can go wherever, ever, leave them all behind. I'm giving you all my, keep giving you all my love. Keep giving you all my, keep giving you all my love. Keep giving you all my, keep giving you all my love. I've been waiting,